Hi everybody and welcome to episode 32 of the Apocalyptic Knitter. My name's Naomi and I'm coming to you from my little bunker in Leeds, West Yorkshire, where I live with my husband, my young son, or teenager, and our little cat. It's a very snowy day today. It's Monday the 6th of January and this is a bit of a special birthday bonus episode. So this is my birthday today, so I'm not at work and thought it's probably a bit of a chance for me to catch up on what I've been up to over Christmas and New Year and all that kind of stuff. So first of all, my socials. So I am Naomi Knits on Instagram, or Big Bird, BIGGBIRD on Ravelry. So feel free to follow me there, and if you've not already, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, anything like that. This is predominantly a knitting channel. Sometimes I do bring in a bit of crochet, although I've not got any crochet to share with you today, but I will be soon. And sometimes a little bit of budget talk and money tips, things like that. Well, it's been a couple of weeks. I think I last recorded, I think, just before Christmas, and it does get a little bit mad busy, doesn't it, that last week before. So anyway, I don't know where to start really, because I've got quite a lot to share with you, a bit of a roundup of what I got done last year, bit of a Gansey update, some acquisitions and all that kind of thing. So if I miss anything out, please forgive me. What am I wearing? So this is my pandemic jumper that I made, and the pattern is Tree Ring Tea, and it's a DK pattern, and I don't know if you can see quite closely. So I used a few years ago, when it was pandemic, Dye Candy released a special colourway with some of the proceeds going to a charity, and it's just such a beautiful colourway, they're pinks, blues, purples. I then slightly muted it by doing a row of soft grey in between. So yeah, anyway, that's what I'm wearing. I think the last time I recorded, I was just kind of coming out of a bit of a knitting funk, and it was improving, but I know now that my heart still wasn't quite where it is, whereas now I feel like I've hook, line and sinker back into it. So I'll show you what my latest addiction is. Yeah, how are you? Did you have a nice Christmas, or was it just a case of getting through it? I know it's not everyone's cup of tea. I had quite a nice Christmas, and as to quote Nancy from Kitty Scrapper, it's nice just to sometimes have just a nice Christmas. Doesn't have to be all singing, all dancing, all whistles and everything like that. I know social media can portray what a perfect Christmas looks like, and there is no such thing. It's whatever you want to make it is absolutely fine. But it was, I don't know, so I think I just managed to get to see a lot of friends and family this time, which was nice. It was a lot of running around, and I think once I'd finished it I was a little bit, okay, nobody talked to me for a couple of days kind of thing. So but it was nice. What did I get up to? I met a friend who went to bingo one night, which was lots of fun. I do like a bit of bingo. And I met up with my lovely friend Sammy, and we went to a wool shop in Formby, which is from where I grew up, and we've been meaning to get to this wool shop for about a year now, and each time we've gone, it's just, I say, we've just not planned it right. We'd gone and it'd been closed. So we went again this time and it was open, so it was really nice. And we met Michaela, who owns the shop, and I was really impressed with the shop actually. It was a really good range of some acrylics, some like pure wools, some gift sets, some indie dyed stuff, with some popular names which we know, like I think she had Sakami yarns. There was some Crazy Zalva balls, which I love, and there was also a local a local indie dyer called Red Squirrel in Dune, and our Formby is known for the Red Squirrel Reserve and the sand dunes, so I really liked that name. It was a good, good brand name. So I may have bought something, so I'll show you that later on when we come to acquisitions. But yeah, if you're ever in the area, feel free to pop in. It was a lovely shop, and it was nice to kind of chat to the owner, because she was saying that it was nice that it'd been a while since there'd been like a wool shop there. I think there was one that I remembered like 25 years ago, like, but now that I know that knitting's made this like comeback, well, mind you, I know I've just been knitting the last 40 years, but it's nice that she's kind of building up the community of it all, and she's like hosting knit nights in the shop and struggling for space because it's been that popular, which I think is really good. And we were chatting about what knitting can bring. It's not always just about the process, it's about like the community and the friendships and that kind of community really. So but yeah, I'm really pleased. Waffling again, sorry. And then I had a quiet New Year, and then it was our wedding anniversary on Saturday, and also with my birthday today. We did something a bit different, and we went to the Coronation Street tours over in Salford yesterday. Losing track of the day, Saturday. Oh gosh, it was so much fun, really good fun. I've put some pictures on Instagram if you want to have a nosy. But no, I love Curry, and it was just great just to see the set and to just quite surreal. Anyway, to the knitting. I waffled on for 8 minutes, which probably isn't too bad considering how much I had to catch up on. So that's life. We've been very fortunate this Christmas, because I know there's so much illnesses going around. I don't know if you heard that, my son just literally sneezed upstairs. But we've managed to escape any kind of lurgies, which I'm quite thankful of. I think I had COVID in October, and then I had that cellulitis a few weeks later, so I was like, I want my immune system to kind of recover a little bit. But anyway, right, Gansey. For those that know the saga, it was finished, and I gave it to the recipient, and they were, I think when I originally blocked it, because it's so heavy, it made it lengthen more than what they wanted. So I said, wear it for a couple of weeks, because it might not bother you, or it might do, and all that kind of thing. And I wanted them to be happy with it. But yeah, they wanted it to be shortened by 1 inch or so. So I was like, okay, no problem. And I put 2 lifelines in, snipped the wool, and did 380 stitch Kitchener graft. And then I blocked it, and then you could see the line. and my heart, I'm not gonna lie, my heart sunk. And I thought, oh my goodness me. And I think what I'd done is I'd picked up the right leg of the stitch on one row, and I'd obviously done something incorrect on the other one, whether it should have been a right leg and a right leg, or a right leg and a left leg, or then I turned it around or something, but there was a slight twist to the stitch, and it was just visible and you could see it. So I was very good and didn't cry. No, jokes aside, I thought, and I was good because it's easy when you do that and you spend a lot of time on something and it doesn't work out, it's so easy to chuck something in the corner and not pick it up again, or try and do it when you're wound up, and that's really not wise. So I was good, and I said, do you know what, it will get fixed, just have a couple of nights working on something else. And in the meantime I was thinking of ways in which to try it again. Let me just have a little sip. And I thought, if I do the process again, and it was like a lot of time when you're kitcheneering it, you can't watch telly at the same time because it's quite, you're picking up, you're basically sewing really. I thought, what if I do that? And because I couldn't remember for definite what I did the first time, I thought, what if I do it again? And then it's wrong, and so I ended up, because I had some spare, I had almost a full cone left, I worked out that it probably wasn't going to take that much longer for me to just pick up the stitches and then knit down with new wool, so I could see that, I could see that there was no twist to the stitches or anything like that. So I did that, and I could see that felt like there was no bump. You could see the fabric was slightly different, but that was because the first lot had been blocked and this one was new, so it hadn't quite bloomed. So I was a little bit nervous, but not as nervous. And then I blocked it and held my breath. And let me show you it. It's fine. So there we go. Absolutely great. So I'm really pleased. I just need to weave those ends in, and there'll probably be an end somewhere in the body. Oh, dear me. And I think, isn't that lovely? So yeah. And I gave a big sigh of relief. And I think, to be honest with you, although that took up a good 90% of my holiday period knitting, it felt good to get it done, because I think if I didn't, I would have been back in my mind thinking about it. And I've got something to show you. I don't know if I showed you it last time, but I'm gonna sew this in. I got some labels. I don't know if that's focusing right, but it says handmade by the Apocalyptic Knitter. So I'm gonna get that sewn in on the back of the neckband. So, right, so that is done. And I was torn between what to pick up, because I've been really enjoying the advent calendar. I knew that I wanted to get my radiate sleeves done, but the last time I picked that up I was really not in the mood for it, and I didn't want to lose the knitting mojo again. So what did I do? Oh, we also have a January cast on with my knitting group, And I was a bit like, I thought, oh, I don't want to do a new cast on at the moment. I've got that much on, but then I thought it's still starting something. So, but anyway, there's no like rules to anything, is there? And I picked up my Radiate sweater and thought I'll just do an hour on it, and I couldn't put it down. So isn't it gorgeous? That is a really good true picture of the pink. It's like a really nice magenta pink. And I did a sleeve. I did that in about 3 or 4 days, and then I picked up for the second one yesterday, and I'm almost through the decreases. And as I say, it's not feeling like a chore or anything. I'm just really enjoying it. And I think even if I didn't start on my January cast on, but I get this finished today, I'm gonna be so happy, because then it's just like a big thing off the needles. So this is, the pattern is Radiate Sweater by Hohi Locatelli. It's DK, and it's just really not, I've seen this on a few people, and it just looks such a flattering fit, regardless of your shape and size. And yeah, it's just lovely. So for the contrast, I used a set of DK minis from Third Vault Yarns. I don't think there was a colourway name, but they just seemed to kind of fade into each other, like pinks, and then going into darker purples and blue. And then I wasn't sure if, because there was a lot of pink in it, I wasn't sure if it would be contrasting enough with the magenta, but I think that's absolutely fine, because it ends with the blue. That's enough of a break off. And the magenta is by Ripples Craft Yarns, and it is called Crushed Berry Smoothie. And I'm trying to think of what colour the base is. I always put them, when I'm caking it up, I always put the band in here. So it is on her Kulkine DK base. Kulkine DK Berry Crush Smoothie. And this is, yeah, it's on Blue Faced Leicester, and it's 225 metres for 100 grams. Now, I feel quite happy that I've not overbought with this one, because the pattern, when I looked at the size, the pattern was saying that I would need about 1 skein for the contrast and about 6 or 7 skeins for the body. And I thought, but when I'd finished the body, I had 2 full skeins left, so I thought that's okay, it's one per sleeve. And have I got it there? I've got it there. So when I finished the first sleeve, I had quite a fair bit left. Now, I didn't want to start using that on the other sleeve and then attach my new skein and there being a line or anything like that. So I thought, do you know what, I'll start with a new skein. If I have 2 separate 40 grams, that's fine. It can make 100 grams. I could do some mitts or put it into a cowl or something. But isn't that gorgeous? It's just like a really metallic-y tone, as I kind of call it. It's just really a really nice saturated jewel. So yeah, so that is that, and that is my happy place knitting at the moment. It's just really nice, and I quite like doing the second sleeve because you don't have to keep measuring all the time. You can just kind of count up the rows that you've done and all that. So that is in my living in this bag, which is from Wool Mouse. It's quite a nice big tote. So yeah, I don't know when I'm going to finish that. I'd like to get it done today because I'm not working today, and I'm just had a lovely woke up to snow. Again, I do like having snow on my birthday. And then my son's house school was shut as well due to the snow, so I think we still had about 6-7 inches on the ground today. So yeah, we walked down and had a little bit of a brunch at a local cafe, had some nice coffee. So yeah, it was nice to kind of get out for a bit of a walk in the snow, and that. So, and I've just saved some programmes. I've just watched Call the Midwife. I caught up with Gavin and Stacey Christmas special last night. So what have I got left to watch? I think I recorded Lockerbie. And I've also got some Downton Abbey to watch. So yeah, just having a bit of an indulgent day really, which is nice. What else have we got? So yeah, I'm gonna leave my advent calendar knitting to the end. All will be revealed why. This is a bit of a new cast on, which I think before I broke up for Christmas, I was all like, right, you know, I've got to get all this done in the right order to make sure that I give them people for I think, do you know what, it doesn't matter if it's middle of January. The only person that set these little goals is me. But these are going to be some socks for my uncle, who has successfully finished a course of radiotherapy. I wanted to give him for him while he was having it, but I think it was a very intense treatment, and I didn't get it done in time. But do you know what? That's fine. It doesn't matter. The thought is still there. So this is the plain red that I'm doing for the contrast is West Yorkshire Spinners 4-ply. I think the colour is a holly red or just red. So there's that. And then the main colour, and I might have to get the scales out, is some Regia sock yarn that I've had in stash. I have to show you this. I've got my laptop to the side of me with Ravelry open in case I need to refer to it. I'd like to say, I think I looked into it the other day, and I think I bought it 2014. Let me see if I can quickly find it. Sorry. Everybody talk amongst yourselves. Search stash Regia. Because I all know that you want to know this. Here. Just waiting for the laptop to catch up. Anyway, so here is a size 8, and I think I'm almost at the heel. But I'm just a bit nervous because I want to weigh this because it's 50 gram, not 100. And I've only got one. And I think I bought it, I think Hobbycraft had a sale on. And I think all us in like my little knitting community went a bit crazy and we're like, oh my god, they're selling it for like £1 a ball, I was gonna get it. Yeah, I bought it May 16th 2013, so that is really good deep stash, and I'm glad that I'm using it up. So there's that. The needles I'm using are my Chiaogus, the red lace ones. And I bought these and I didn't realise, look at the needle. Which is annoying me a little bit because I feel like I can't do my magic loop. So I'm literally just sliding it through and doing that. I don't know, I must have picked them up. I didn't even know needles that shape existed. But there we go. So yeah, I'm going to measure these because I think they're about ready for the heel. But when I go back to work tomorrow, well, I went back to work Thursday, Friday, but the office was shut, so I work from home. So tomorrow is my first commutable one. So I want to get those measured and everything, see where I am with them, ready for tomorrow. So that's that. I've also got these on my needle still. They're falling a little bit by the wayside, sorry, but that's C'est La Vie. So these are some socks for my friend, and they are on the, that's coming up quite nice. This same again is another bit of a deep stash. The Countess Blaze Ship Tea and Tray Bake colourway. And these are on, I think these are on 2.5mm needles, these ones. I usually do 2.25. But yeah, I think these ones always just feel slightly thicker when I'm knitting with them. And I've just started the heel on that one. I like it when I know I'm at the heel of the first one, because then I know the rest, and then I can knit the second sock and not feel like I have to kind of guess the length and all that. So the recipient on these, I think, is a size 7. Yeah. So there's those. Do you know what? I'm not being very good today either. That was in my panda bag, the red socks for Little Grey Girl. This is in the book bag, again, Little Grey Girl. Not sponsored, but I just, you know, when you just finds, you know, someone that just makes things how you like it. That's it. So that's that one. What's in here? I was going to do a bit of a roundup. I've done things out of order again. This is my Sophie scarf. Oh, I've done more on this than I thought. I like that. So the colourway is by Mothie and the Squid, called Winterberries, and it's on DK. Needle size I'm using is 3.25, and it's, yeah, it's another item for me that I've just put to one side. Yeah, I'm going to come back to, after I've gone through my whips, I'm going to tell you what I've got plan-wise for 2025. What time are we on now? We are 28 minutes past. This probably is going to, I don't think it's going to be a full hour, but it's going to be bigger than normal. That's in my little pencil one. A triangle bag, which I like. Same again, Little Grey Girl, I tell you. I do branch out sometimes. My January cast on. So I cast on last night, and it was a long tail cast on, which isn't my favourite, but I did it. It's not my favourite because I never know how much wool to leave myself, how much of a tail, and I always lose on it or do it far too much the other way. But I cast it on. The pattern that I'm doing is called the Gridline Sweater by, let me find the dyer's name, or the designer's name rather. Dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-dum. By Suzanne Summer. My lovely friend Steph has made this, and it's such a beautiful, elegant jumper. I absolutely love it. What's it? So it's a bit of an unusual construction. And I can't say too much about it because it is a paid for pattern. But I did the first 6 rows and then thought that the pattern was wrong and that I'd done a mistake. So there's like a little stretch of garter at the end of the row. I was like, surely that shouldn't be garter, surely that should be stockinette. So I manually went down each of my columns and changed them. And then I looked at the pictures, because I was looking at the pictures of this sweater and I'm thinking, I can't see anything garter stitch. And then later I did. You know, like when you use an Excel, there's like an undo button. I wish there was an undo button last night, but I ended up just ripping it out. I thought, come on. So here's my whip. I'm not quite recast on yet, but what it did do is when I measured it, because as I say, it's like a bit of a sideways construction, and when I measured it I thought, I don't think that's going to be long enough, so I took the opportunity to kind of go to the next size lengthwise, because you can have like, it's quite a fluid pattern, so you've got your circumference size and you've got your length size and your neck size. Like this one's quite wide, so if you want it a bit shorter you can do. But anyway, this yarn, look at that, is a really beautiful navy, and it is by the Wool Chemist. Let me see if I can find the thing. Look at that. It's 4-ply. This is like a superwash merino. So soft. Yeah, the Wool Chemist. And it's merino 4-ply, which is 100% superwash merino wool, so it's not got nylon in it. And it's 400 meters per 100 gram, and the colourway is Shelob's Lair, sorry, which I believe is a Lord of the Rings reference. So there we go. Lovely. So it does feel very soft. You know, when you feel like there's a lot of wools that you think will feel the same, but some just feel just really, really squishy and soft. So now that I know what I'm doing with this, I think it's going to be a really nice knit, and it's quite, I think it's going to be quite quick once I get going with it. It's on 3.75mm needles, which isn't bad really. I wasn't sure if it was going to be too much of a drape, and I swatched for it. Nobody is more surprised than me. But I think for what it's going to be, I think it's meant to be quite a light jumper, and I think I've started wearing dresses for work, and I think having a more cropped jumper, and I think navy will go with quite a few colours. So yeah, either a cropped, I want to do some like cropped jumpers and some cropped cardies to kind of mix and match with outfits kind of thing. So that is that. I've casted it on, so it is a whip. Right, my next one, last but not least, will be leading on to acquisitions as well. So this is my Advent blanket. So the pattern is the Anthology Throw by Curious Handmade. It's a lovely pattern which is designed with using up Advent minis. I do need to put it onto my cable extender. It's looking like a little bit of a scallop, like a little kangaroo joey pouch going on there. Very saggy. I'm using the 2023 advent calendar by Ducky Darlings, and it's called Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And I think I'm up to about day 8 or 9. So it started off with the yellow, and then the gold, and then the goldy brown, and then more of a brown, and then brown with orange and a bit of purple, and then purple, and then I'm on to this last one. I think was the lickable wallpaper, which I thought was quite nice. And then I've just started on something quite similar, like a very soft sky blue. You notice like a little bit of an almost like, not a mould effect, but I'm holding it double with a natural colourway, because I just wanted, it's a 4-ply pattern, but I wanted the fabric to be have a bit more substance to it, and not too light. I wanted it to be more of a blanket rather than a shawl. So it's getting quite big now, but I'm only about 30% of the way through. So, and I mentioned before that I didn't want, when I did her 24 birds shawl knit along, it was a beautiful knit, but sometimes, because it was a circular shawl, I couldn't kind of tell how long it was going to be, like the diameter, circumference, that bit. And so when I casted it off and after I blocked it, I thought it's nice, but it wasn't big enough. And so this one, and I literally want to make it as big as I possibly can. So I'm going to do all 24 times 20 gram minis on there. I'm holding it double with a natural. My lovely husband bought me 2 more skeins of the natural for my birthday because I undercalculated. So these are from Ducky Darlings as well. So I've got enough of that. And when I spoke earlier in the podcast that I went to the local yarn store, sorry. I was on the lookout for a skein to kind of do like a separate 100 gram skein to do as like a final border, but I wanted the skein to kind of not feel too different from the colour palette of the advent calendar, so it wasn't going to look too out of place, if that makes sense. So these are, it's a really nice range of colours. I have put the picture of the full range on my Instagram grid. And look at that. I think that will go quite nicely as just like a block one. I don't think it'll look too out of place. So this is a new dyer, or new to me, called Red Squirrel and Dune, by the Formby Fibre company. Little squirrel. This is dyed by the lovely Claire. So please give her a follow if you're on Instagram. And all these colours are just like me, aren't they? Just like a nice little bit of black, and just really nice, just some soft and some little pink blip there. I really like that. And it's called Summer Storm, so I think there's a bit of an apocalyptic reference there. And it's really nice and soft, and it's on the alpaca sock. Now I was drawn to it, not necessarily by the touch, but I do like a high twist, and that, I don't know if you can see, it looks like it's got quite a good twist. But yeah, alpaca sock. It's 20% super fine alpaca, 60% superwash merino and 20% nylon, and for that it's 425 meters per 100 grams. So I thought that is coming home with me. I don't know yet whether I'm gonna do it as 50-50 and then hold it self double, or I may, if I'm gonna hold it double with a natural, I may need to get another 100 gram of the natural. So I'm just gonna see how big the blanket is. I might be able to get away with just doing that, and although all the other colours I've held with the natural, I think because this is quite variegated and it has got the lighter tones in it, sim again, I think it's just gonna blend through quite nicely. So that is that. So that is one of my acquisitions, because you do have to buy yourself a birthday present, don't you? It does have to be warm. And then the only other acquisitions I got, so I was making up a little bit of a present parcel for my lovely friend Julie, who lives in America, and I wanted to give little bits and pieces of just things that I use day to day, like tea and coffee and biscuits and a bit of wool. And I know everyone's been harping on about yarn smiths from Wool Warehouse, like a acrylic. So yeah, the merino sock. So I got a couple for Julie and a couple for me. Look at that purple. That's a very Naomi colourway, that one. And this one here, I couldn't tell when they do like the tones of the pictures like that. I was finding it difficult to see what the colours were, so I just thought, you know what, I'll do it. It'll get used. But it is so soft, really, really soft. Let me just have a look at the. I say it's an acrylic. It's not really an acrylic. I think it's quite a commercial one. But it's 75% merino and 25% nylon, so it's not, you know, it's not got polyester or anything like that in it. So yeah. So I think it might be, the fibre itself might not be man-made, but I wonder if the way it's spun or whatever it might be. But there we go, it's absolutely brilliant. I think it's really affordable as well. It's on sale, it always seems to be on sale. But yeah, this one is shade 2G140, and that's all like greys, soft greys and blues from there. And this lovely purple beast is shade, oh hang on, put it in the camera, shade 2K317. So there we are. We're nearly there. Thank you so much for bearing with me, and if you need to listen to this in 2 sessions, I do not blame you at all. I personally don't mind a long podcast to have a listen to. 2025, what are my knitting plans? When I went to the Headingley knitting group that I go to, and we had like a little bit of a Christmas thing, and Sarah did these little awards, and I won an award for the most items of gift knitting for the year, and it was something ridiculous, like 25 out of the 32 items I've made for the whole year were for other people. And I know I'm a bugger for knitting for other people rather than myself, but I thought that's far too much. I want to have a more selfish year for me, or so right, I'm not going to say I'm not going to knit for other people, but I want to make so many items for me this year. I'm going to keep to it. So I do like getting involved with the whole make 9, like your little goal things. So I went and I had a look at my make 9 items. Just gonna have another slurp of my drink. This was a present from a friend a couple of years. That was last Christmas. And you know, you get a mug and it's a really good drinker. It's a good drinker, so cheers, Natalie, thank you. I've actually got a fruit tea in it this time for an immune boost rather than coffee. Anyway, my make 9, one of them is the gridline sweater, like the navy one that I showed you before from Suzanne's Summer. And that's kind of casted on, almost. I've also been quite organised and got some of the wool as examples to show you. I also want to make the hoodie shawl cardigan, which is also by Suzanne Summer, but I've not got all the wool for it yet because I can't quite decide. These are the beauties that I'm going to do, like the top section, like the striping. So it's like a really nice deep aubergine purple by Riverknits, and this gorgeous neon is by Woolly Mama. So I'm going to stripe those, but I can't decide on the rest of the body, but it'll come to me. It will come to me. So there's that one. I also taking inspiration from the lovely Rachel from This Knitty Life. She's done a few Stripes of Joy sweater. So that's by a designer called Tiff Nealon. So she said it was a DK, or you could use like 4-ply held double. So I think I'm going to use that more of a stash down kind of thing and get a few like one skeiners that I have that I'd like to kind of use up and see if they can go together. I also want to do another exposure top, so that you'll see that the pink, almost like a V-neck tabard kind of a top, where there's 2 panels that are knit, and then you graft part way up and then you kind of knit down. I wear that so much. So that for that one, I am using this beautiful colourway. This is called Glacier Fire by Yarn Unique. So I've got those 2 lined up for that one, and I'm gonna contrast that or fade it out at the bottom with a lovely skein that I've got, which is in there, by the lovely Gem at Snuggly Stars Yarn. I've kind of gone for like a charcoal grey, I think it's called Coal. What else I've got? I might have a look. I'm either going to do the Shifty Cardigan or the Shifty Cowl by Andrea Mowry, and that's like a bit of mosaic knitting, because I've got a lovely skein of what's it called? I want to say spin fibre. You know those skeins and it looks like it's like a hand spun yarn, but it's not. I've got one of those that's really special, but it's sport weight. So I kind of want to, I've not got the rest of the wool that I want to make with it yet. That's still a little bit in planning stage, but I'd like to use that up this year. I want to do a Musselburgh hat by Isolde Teague. I've done one before, but I got the size completely wrong and did a massive and didn't fit the person. So I'd like to make one for myself, and then also reuse the wool for the one that I got wrong on that one. I'd also like to do a Stephen West knit along shawl, because whenever it comes up to it, I'm just that snowed under with whips. And then I'm doing quite a few garments already, but I'd like to kind of have a few pieces of like classic garments, you know, like a black and white striped jumper, or you know, because there's certain knitwear that always is in fashion, or it comes in, goes out, that kind of thing. Or just kind of like some staples. So there's one that I'd like to do. I'd like to do like an oversized polar neck, cowl neck kind of jumper. Now, when I went to Yorkshire Yarn Fest with my friend Tracy, we saw there was like an example or a sample of this gorgeous blue jumper. And did I take the pattern name down? No, I didn't. But that's something in my little pipeline. And then lastly, I think I've got the wool for it. I can't remember if it's 4-ply or DK, but I will find out what it is and then do it. Is the Amadeo summer sweater. So Amadeo spelt A-M-E-D-E-O. Amadeo summer sweater by a designer, apologies for the pronunciation, by Johanna Gerisch, I want to say, G-E-H-R-I-S-C-H, who is a designer based in Berlin, which is quite fitting, if you know, you know. So I might even make that in time for later in the year. I'll let you know next time. As well as having like a make 9, I also wanted to finish off a few whips. I told you I'm doing this all out of order, because what I was going to tell you was how many items that I actually finished in 2024. I did 16 pairs of socks, 7 pairs of mitts, which was those side hustle cuffs. I did 3 hats, 1 scarf, 1 shawl, 1 cowl, 2 garments, 1.33 blankets, because one of the blankets was a gift and for our lovely friend Jenny, who's had a baby a few months ago, and our little knitting group, we kind of knit some squares and made it into a blanket, so that's why it's 1.33 on that one, and a baby vest. So my total items made was 33.33, which I quite like, numbers like that. I'm also taking in 10 works in progress, 10 whips into 2025, which I don't like having that many. It's bothering me, shall we say. So I kind of want to, as well as having my make 9, I'm having 3 whips that I really, without fail, want to get finished. And that is my anthology throw, which I don't think I'll have any problems finishing that off because it's just lovely. My radiate sweater, which is almost finished, so that'd be good. And my memory blanket. So that it's been on the needles since 2016, and I do not want it to go over the 10-year mark. That would be far too embarrassing. That one, I'm doing my own stitch, my own square size, and I'm casting on 53, one centre square and 53 stitches, so they're quite big. It's like 17 grams per square, and I worked out, because it's going to be like a Super King bed size throw, and I worked out I've got about 64 squares left to do on that. So I do want to, 64 divided by 12 months, how many is that? Oh my god, that's about 4 or 5 squares a month, isn't it? We all love a trier. So anyway, that is that. I was also inspired by Franny Do Makes, where she kind of wrapped up some skeins and did like herself like a bit of a lucky dip on what socks to make herself. So I might do that. So here's the skeins that I've been telling myself, oh yeah, I'll save that for best for me. So I've got this sock set by Attic Spin Dye. I mean, look at that blue. It's a beautiful cobalt blue. I've got my bright pink night sky from A Happy Crow. I mean, look at that. I think that's going to be some beautiful micro stripes, which I do love a good micro stripe. I've got Wizard from Lockwood Fibre. It's beautiful. And I'm hanging my head in shame because this was gifted to me, I'm going to say at least 2 years ago. From Countess Ablaze, and it's called Be More Me. Which I like that. That's a 50 gram, that one, so I might need to use a little bit of a contrast on there, unless I do myself some little shorties. And look at that, tonic. That is by For the Love of Yarn. I do like that. So I think I'm going to wrap them all up, and then whenever I need some socks. But same again, I'm trying not to like overface myself with stuff. And I'm gonna finish my radiate today. I'm gonna focus on that so we can get that second sleeve done. And then, yeah. Got me socks on the commute and all that. Wow, 56 minutes. Thank you so much if you have bird with me for this long. But I hope you enjoy it. I hope it's given you a bit of inspiration, because I know sometimes New Year can be a bit of a funny one. Sometimes you can have all this lovely festive season and then the decks go down and it's... but yeah, I hope that you have got something nice to look forward to, that you've had a lovely break and ready for what the next year brings. And that's all from me. I am gonna wish you well and good health and lots of nice knitting time, and hope you're keeping warm in this weather, this snowmageddon as I call it, and I will catch you all soon. But no, thanks so much for listening. Bye for now.